I was in Florence with my wife and my children. I received news about a potential problem in Mediterranean.
Your position.
In the middle of the night, the Italian Coast Guard had received reports that a boat carrying illegal migrants from Africa had sunk near the small Italian island of Lampedusa. More than 800 people were feared dead.
The terrible thing was the news about children. The children in the ship, they were locked in the room and they died, closed in this room. My daughter was 9 years old, so as father, I decided to call the other leaders of European Council.
Prime Minister Renzi called me asking for an extraordinary European Council meeting. And I knew that this is the moment when the most dramatic crisis started.
Donald Tusk convened the 28 leaders who make up the European Council for an emergency summit. The man at the center of the crisis, Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi, arrived demanding action. Under EU law, the first country the migrants enter had to deal with them. And in the spring of 2015, the majority were landing in Italy.
First, let us stand for a minute's silence for the victims, not just of the last week, but of the 2000 before them, too.
Now Renzi was trying to compel his fellow leaders to share the arriving asylum seekers across Europe.
Please, we have to accept the idea migration is not an Italian problem. I'm not here to ask you, please save with me Italy. I'm here with you to save European values.
Renzi's idea was to create a quota system to divvy up migrants across EU countries. Many leaders, especially Eastern Europeans, were violently against it. They felt any formal plan would encourage even more migrants to flood into the continent.
The quota system is an invitation. Whatever quota system you have, even the voluntary quota system, would be an invitation for those who would like to come, because there's hope that if you come illegally, there's going to be some kind of solution for you. Our approach was no compulsory quota and no voluntary quota.
Des pays se refusent.
Some countries refuse to even imagine accepting refugees.
Des réfugiés. C'est pour ça que la discussion est tendue.
So obviously it was very tense. Renzi was right.
La répartition allait poser des
Relocation poses a problem.
Et qu'il y aurait le refus des pays,
And the Eastern Europeans would refuse to accept this obligation imposed on them.
cette obligation qui leur serait imposée. Donc je préférais que
So I prefer to do this
la
voluntarily.
logique de volontariat.
After long negotiations and 2 EU summits, the European Council agreed on a plan to share a small number of migrants across the EU countries. The plan, though, would be voluntary.